My name's Jacob Fedorov. I'm 27 years old currently, and in 2019, when I was 21 years old, finishing up my last semester of college at Texas Tech, I unexpectedly lost my father due to a underground bunker explosion, and that is when I met Nick.
Red River County authorities have identified 3 people who died in an explosion in a hunting structure earlier this month. They say 45-year-old Michael Bauer, 50-year-old Perry Fedorov, and 46-year-old Misty Marple all died in the blast. They're all from Texas.
I knew Nick would be a good fit for my brother and I when we first met, really upon the initial meeting. I think he was there beyond just being an attorney. He was there for us emotionally. He had mentioned, he had a loss as well, similar to us, and, he connected to us on that level. Throughout the process, Nick was always there, always present, and always went above and beyond. I never had to reach out to Nick. He was always 10 steps ahead, always very patient with my tons of questions I always had to ask, and always put it in basically simple terms that I could understand. The thing that stood out to me the most, set Nick apart from anyone else, is the amount of trust I had for him. Nick made it just super easy, where if he could pick up any extra weight and to take off my brother and I's shoulders, he did in a heartbeat. He took the case on as pro bono. Basically, all the expenses were out of the attorney's pockets, and that they were going to pursue the responsible party for what happened. The death had a big impact on my mental health. Thank God for not only my brother, but Nick as well, just knowing that the outcome of the case was able to really allow me to not have to stress about just the day-to-day worries, and allowed me to really kind of just put all my effort and emotion into trying to better myself, trying to heal, trying to grieve properly. I think my dad would be proud that my brother and I decided to hold someone accountable for their actions. That was one thing he always did teach us, is accountability. Makes it easier knowing that someone is held responsible for their actions that caused harm to not only my dad but others as well. The help that Nick gave me means a lot to me. I think really just beyond the financial aspect of it, just during that time, having someone who's always there that you could talk to. He was always reaching out, checking up on me, whether or not there was an update on the case or not. It's very important to me. It helped me a lot. Looking at my dad, probably most people were intimidated by him. Kind of just a big dude, big scary looking guy. I think he got that from being in the Marines for over 20 years. When you got to really know my dad, he was the funniest person you'd ever meet. He did everything for his family too, just about every single thing. If Nick were sitting here, I would just say thank you 1,000 times over. Thank you. Although there's no outcome that can bring life back, it's given me the opportunity to deal with the passing of my dad appropriately, move on with my life, and process everything.